Okay, I'm going to try to do this quick before the next airplane takes off. I haven't recorded out here in a while, so that I guess I got to get my groove back on. I want to chat a little bit about the phenomenon that happens whenever you get run down with this, and you can feel like you're healing on this, and you can feel like you're doing really well. And what's an experience that I've recognized, and I've seen it with some of the comments that other people have made, is that it's like the cyclical cycle where you have your ups and downs. And whenever you start getting run down or tired, and it could be from lack of sleep or just getting sick or just the anxiety and emotional stress is basically off the charts, some of those old feelings that you've been able to resolve and deal with and you think you've worked past can creep back in. And I think the big thing that you have to remember whenever you're going through this and that happens is you have to take those feelings and you have to take a step back and look at it in context with everything that's going on. And what I mean is that I think a lot of times we forget to look at what's really happening and what might be causing those reactions that we're having. You know, like I mentioned before, typically it can be if you're sick, run down, overworked, maybe your financial stress is really high, whatever. There's generally an external influence that's wearing you down and causing you to start thinking about your ex or thinking about your situation or just, you know, ruminating about the past. And you have to be really careful about that, because what happens is whenever you feel like you're feeling really good and you're like on that upward, you know, trend and you're in your recovery, when you start going down, you can allow that catastrophic thinking to really kind of overtake you and, you know, I guess mess with your judgment on it. So time and time again, I've talked to people, and when they're really having a down time, more than likely in the course of the conversation, it'll come out that something else has happened. Either they've, you know, just finished a 18-hour shift or, you know, something broke, or something else has happened. And it's really important to recognize that, because if you don't take a breather and calm yourself down, that catastrophic spinning out of control can really take hold and just completely mess with your emotions. Now, I know a lot of people talk about being mindful in your environment and where you're at, but it's really true, because if you can take that perspective and really look at what's going on, it can actually help you make better sense of what's actually happening. And this still happens to me. There'll be times where I'm really wore down or run down, and it's like these old feelings, which I thought that I've been able to deal with, just seem to come back. So if you find this happening to you, take a step back and look at everything that's going on in your life. And more than likely, you're going to see that there's something else that's really trying to pull you back down and wearing you down. So what you have to do is take it in the context of the whole thing. So when you were feeling better and things were going better, you know, things were better, right? I mean, and you can see the difference, or you can see how your moods change with what's going on around you. I just think it's important to talk about this, because I think in our situation with what we're dealing with, those reoccurring, like not even jabs from the ex, but just the jabs from life can really mess with your emotions and mess with how you're feeling. And you just have to keep it in context, so that way whenever it is happening, you don't, you know, drive yourself crazy, go down that catastrophic thinking and pretty much make things worse than, you know, they really are. And I know I fell into that a lot. I know it was something I struggle with, and there are times I still struggle with it now. When things get really overwhelming, there's a lot of those old emotions and everything that start creeping back in, and probably there's a good chance that you're dealing with the same thing. So on that, I'm going to shut this down, because these planes are taking off pretty much back to back, so there's not much time to have any quiet time. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I will chat with you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.